All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol FCEL, Fuelcell Energy Inc. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all my first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to my channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all my subscribers, welcome back, and let's jump into this chart. So Fuelcell Energy Inc. has been a roller coaster ride in the last couple of days. And what I mean by that, it's like it's rose up, it's hanging out up, and then it brings itself back down. And then it rose back up and it's just hanging out there. So this is more of a tug of war, like I like to call it. But you still see the bulls fighting to stay above. And when you zoom out, it has been in a recovery state and it's working its way up in this direction. As long as the bulls continue to break through resistance, they're going to be able to continue this run. But you can see how quickly the 50-day moving average is already catching up to the price. So I'm going to go ahead and illustrate it in just a moment. And I want to excuse myself for my terrible drawing as we look at this, but it's going to be important. So we're going to look at our new resistance, our new support. We're going to talk about it a little bit broader, but the bulls did fail today to stay above the resistance. They reached up to 1075 and then 1073, give or take area. And from that point forward, it started to dip and it reached lows here of about 886. I want every single investor to write that down. That's an important number to keep in mind if this breaks through support, through the 50-day moving average, and gets deeper into bearish territory, because that's the lowest support level and one of the deepest support levels in bearish territory right now below the 50-day moving average. So what is happening right now? If this continues to hang out sideways, and even if it breaks through resistance and kind of sits close to it, and even if it drops back down, let's just say it goes through one of these two avenues, at some point, the 50-day moving average is going to break right through it. So this is hanging out and it kind of falls back down or brings itself back up, and it's not going any further in this direction. And even if the possibility, like I drew earlier, it goes in this direction, there is a slight possibility that even as it keeps going that way, it already got crossed by the 50-day moving average. Because the 50-day moving average, as you can see, it's coming up steeply, and it's going to come up and break right through it, end up above the price, and then the price is going to be anywhere below it in this area. And this is leverage for the bears to bring this down to newer lows. So it's super important for all investors and every single person that is in this stock or watching this stock to watch this closely. And I want every single investor to be aware that the bulls need to break through resistance. Whichever resistance we talk about in just a moment, it needs to be broken through. If not, the bulls will lose control fairly quickly, whether it's tomorrow or someday later in the week. But this 50-day moving average is coming up fast and it's going to catch up to the price. So let's look at our new resistance. Our new resistance has slightly moved up to this point. This is one of the highest points after this recovery, after hitting 886, and then this is one of the lowest points. So this is pretty narrow. Like I stated, this is a very important support level, 886. I want every single investor to write that down and keep it in mind. Now the 50-day moving average is 946. We want to watch that closely. 946 is super important to stay above it for the bulls to go ahead and stay in bullish territory, and if we're below it, we are in bearish territory. So 946 will let us know what side of the chart we're in. Now here we have the highest point of the bulls, which was 1074. I know that this was a little bit higher, but the volatility was pretty crazy there, and it ended up being a candlestick on the way down. So this is our highest point, $10.74. That's what the bulls need to break through to reach newer highs and newer resistance levels and work their way up to that highest point way up here at 1131, 1130, give or take. But before getting to any of those numbers, we have a resistance level here that the bulls need to break through. But let's look at our support first. So support is 985. We're sitting at 1005 currently, and 985, if it gets broken through, we have a very small window between support and the 50-day moving average to watch how this is reacting. We are still in bullish territory, and even within support being broken through, but we need to monitor the behavior of this stock fairly closely because of how quickly this can be moving downwards, or if the bulls are trying to reappear to recover this one, because we're still in bullish territory. So we want to watch this closely. Now, if it breaks through support and the 50-day moving average, there's still a chance for the bulls to reappear anywhere in this area and bring this one back up. That's why the tug of war will be interesting. And then if the 50-day moving average is broken through, our next point of reference to watch is 886 as a support, and watch if the bulls reappear before it gets closer to that, or are the bears tearing this one down fairly fast. But before getting to any of those points of reference and paying close attention to them, we want to pay close attention to how this stock is reacting if it breaks through 985, and how it's reacting between the 50-day moving average of 946 and 985. Now, this is my emphasis here, and I've been talking about it, and I really want to emphasize this. The bulls need to break through 1042. That's our resistance. They need to break through that, turn it into a support, and create staircases effect to go ahead and bring themselves up to newer highs and newer resistance levels and pull further away from the 50-day moving average in a upward direction. So super important for the bulls to break through resistance, turn it into a support, and pull further away from the 50-day moving average in an upward direction. So 1042 needs to be broken through and turn into a support. That's my emphasis here, for the bulls to maintain themselves in bullish territory and for this momentum to continue. If not, the bears could be on their way to gaining leverage over the chart and changing the trajectory of this chart. I'm not saying that if the bears start to gain leverage that the bulls don't have a chance, but it's going to make it much harder and difficult for the bulls to continue their momentum and their run. So as always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money. At the end of this video, there's going to be a pop-up video, and in that video I will be discussing about the S&P 500 index and how it's been rising several points on scheduled dates. As you see here on the graph, these circles are the dates that the pumps have happened, and I use them as examples to show you guys how much the stocks have risen, and the S&P 500 index rose on those dates. And the reason why it's rising is due to the fact that the Federal Reserve is pumping the markets on these dates. The charts and the dates speak for themselves, as we can see it here, and I break it down into more detail in the video. But just to summarize it, on these dates the S&P 500 rises, and there's individual ticker symbols rising up with it, anywhere from 30 cents to $3 per share. I know it may not seem like a lot, but per share that does add up, and these individual ticker symbols are giving you back profits. These are profits, and like I always say, profits are profits. Whether it's $1 put into the market and you get back $2, you've put in an initial investment and you got back more than what you started with. That's what it's all about. And also in the video I go into further detail showing you guys these dates and showing you how much it rose. Like for example, this was one of the last pump dates, and the lowest point that it reached was down here at 35.11, and the highest point reached was 35.57. That's like a 40-point jump. And here we're seeing the same thing. It went down to 35.88 and it rose up to about, I'd say, let's see, this is all still in the same day. It rose up to about a total amount of 36.23. When you do the math, that's almost a 40 to 50 point jump, and there's individual ticker symbols rising up with this. Now, I'm not there to guarantee you profits. I'm not there to tell you to buy, sell, or hold anything in particular. I'm just here to inform every single investor on the great news, on the opportunity to maximize profits and minimize losses. You have to do your due diligence and research, but these charts and the dates speak for themselves. I mean, this was probably one of the largest jumps that I've seen in the last couple of pumps, and it was down here at 33.02 and it rose up to about 33.88. That was an 80-point jump. There was probably ticker symbols rising up more than $3 per share on those dates, and even on these dates there's individual ticker symbols rising more than $3 per share. Check it out, see for yourselves, And my best advice is look for ticker symbols that may be resembling the behavior of the S&P 500 index, and you'll be able to go ahead and give it a shot. Check it out. Again, I'm not there to tell you to buy, sell, or hold anything in particular. I'm not there to guarantee you profits. I'm just here to go ahead and share the information along with every single viewer and investor. The video should be popping up soon. If you haven't seen it already, pop up. There is the link down below in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.